Yeah, this is an update on the garden. So here I got some golden bantam corn that I've saved. I'm gonna take the seeds off of those. That did really well in the heat. I got my mint here, trying to recover it. I didn't plant it very well. It didn't have a drainage hole I found. Here's my basil that I pruned back. I'm actually going to prune back again. I just fertilized it. I'm going to make some pesto with that today. It's really pretty awesome. And the oregano did not do very well in the pot. I think I actually have to plant that in, well, outside, and I'll have to plant it in the ground next time. Yeah, and I've been using the minted buds too. This is more of an experiment for the tomato cutting. They work, but yeah, I don't know what to do with this knowledge. Probably use a string to hold it upright and maybe get some more cherry tomatoes out of it. Of course, you may have seen this, but this here is the loofah. This is the loofah plant. Remember that back in, I think, 4th of July? It was, here, I'll show you where it was on 4th of July. 4th of July, it was, you can see this, it was up to here. Just one vine. And now, this thing has completely taken over the house, and it's not really showing too many signs of slowing down. It is slowing growth a little bit with the slightly cooler days and maybe less sun, but I think the majority of it was I wasn't watering it correctly. So if I was watering it correctly, it would have probably taken over the entire house by now. I'll show you what the fruit looks like now. So this here is one that's on the ground. It's not rotting or anything. I rotate it every other day just to make sure. These fruits, if you remember, were actually hanging much further up, but it's just that they're so heavy, they pulled the vines down. They didn't break anything, which is good, so I'll leave it as is. As you can see, there's fruits everywhere. There are so many. There's ones that are very far in development. Some, I'm trying to look, a bunch of flowers, female flowers have come up, but they died back. But not all. There's still a bunch of young female flowers that are still setting fruit, especially on the newer growth. Like this one. This one I think is setting fruit. It's got to be really delicate. These skins are very delicate. And yeah, it's taking over my porch lights. There's a fruit up there. Yeah, it's huge. It in fact actually goes behind onto the side of the house a little bit. It was going to, but I think then that the sun really kept it going on this side. These here are my beans. That is my really sad zucchini plant that I was trying to grow for my fall zucchini. I have no idea if it's going to work. We'll see. I'll probably plant some peas around it. So, yeah. This is my beans. I got 6 types of beans in here. Extremely rare varieties. These ones were advertised as non-climbing beans, but as you can see, they are climbing. So yeah, these climbing ones haven't set any fruit yet. But the smaller, bushier beans, I think they're dragon beans, I think is what they're called. Aha. Some of the dragon beans have set fruit, and isn't that cool? I ate some yesterday. It tastes just like normal green beans. I got wax beans. I got dragon beans. I got, I don't know. I got like 6 of them. They're really cool. This is my okra. And you want to see something? This right here that I'm holding you, this here is my head level. This is my face. These plants are at least 7 feet tall right now, and they're still growing. As you can see, I don't know, there's like very docile wasps on these plants in the morning. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if like, it's almost like this nectar has like a sedative effect on insects. But these crowns that are growing aren't stopping anytime soon. As you can see, this one has leaves going up. This one is mostly just a stalk with fruit, so I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, it still produces. It doesn't produce nearly as much as it used to in the dead of summer. I'm harvesting maybe every other day, every day to every other day instead of every single day. But yeah, it's not stopping. These tomatoes, don't grow indeterminate tomatoes if you're not trying to grow indeterminate tomatoes, or else this happens. Also, it got way too wet down here, which is why they're not doing too well. This here is my radishes. So these first two rows are daikons, and these two rows are mixed radishes, possibly some daikons in there, but they're just mixed, a mixed bag. These two rows are going to be carrots. They're going to be purple carrots, and this here is just a leaf of fruit that I cut off by accident. Yeah, that's a small one. And this here is my patty pan squash. This one looks like it's actually going to do pretty well, so I'm pretty stoked for that. And as you can see down here, I've actually planted pea plants amongst my okra, and once they get a little bit bigger, I'll train them all up to the plants, and they'll take over these plants once these plants stop producing. What else? This is my cantaloupe. So this cantaloupe I bought from Lowe's, and it was 3 plants. One was a true cantaloupe, one was a Tucson cantaloupe. I think this one was a Tucson cantaloupe. As you can see, it has the ridges that aren't really quite there in normal cantaloupe. Or maybe it was this, I don't know. Anyway, these cantaloupe though had almost no rind. They were so good, so juicy. I saved the seeds on them. I don't know if, I had a couple other cantaloupe varieties. Maybe they might not grow true to seed, but why not? I saved some. This is my pepper plant. My pepper plant, the problem with sweet peppers is the bugs will get to them before you do. So a bunch of them I had to cut off and sacrifice to the soil. But some of them, where the rinds are really tough, the bugs haven't gotten to them. So I'm actually pulling out some peppers now. If you remember, I grew this way in the spring, but the dead of summer just stalled out the growth completely. This is my Japanese eggplant, the Ichiban eggplant. This one was extremely productive. I might get another few flowers off of it, but it seems to be winding down a little bit. Next time I grow eggplant, I'll definitely grow a forest of eggplant. As you can see, like this is quite a large plant, for me at least. This over here is the watermelon. The watermelon completely took over this corner. To date, I've never gotten a good watermelon off of this thing. They have either split or had blossom rot. So I'm going to try to rotate this guy every day or so carefully so it doesn't rot on the bottom. And I check the stem every day just to see if it's going to pop off. So there's that one. There's another one growing up there. And there's a couple growing around here too. This is my winter squash, and my winter squash isn't doing too well. As you can see, it's a little yellow, but oh well. Probably it's where I planted it. Not a really ideal place because I was running out of yard space. But as you can see, I'm getting some acorn squash. I don't know about this variety of acorn squash when it's ripe, so I'll have to look it up because that may be ripe and that may not be ripe. I'm not really sure. But as you can see, there's more flowers setting. These are male flowers, but hopefully the female flowers will set again. I still have a bunch of time for acorn squash to grow. This is my Gete Acosamon, and this isn't doing too well at all, unfortunately. That's a fruit, but it's not growing real fast. I thought I killed it the other day, but those leaves have bounced right back, so I didn't. Really happy. This is my store-bought okra. Look at this leaf. Right? Look how different this leaf is compared to these. So I don't know what kind of variety this is, but that's kind of wild. Maybe it's just a natural mutation. I got no idea. Because these plants are smaller, I have to harvest these pods when they're smaller or else they get way too woody. One of my palm trees got completely taken over by the by the loofah. This palm tree I haven't watered a whole lot, unfortunately, so I got to keep watering it. There's new growth. There's new growth, so it's not dying anytime soon. These here are my long beans. They're going to grow up. I'm going to train them, and I'm going to try to train them along this wall. And these beans supposedly will grow to be like a yard long, supposedly. We'll see. And this here's my fall crop of corn. This is peaches and cream. Again with the water. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll find out. And here is my winter melons. I got Kajari, and Kajari I think is these ones. And then I got my yellow melons. Supposedly they were going to take off, but I think because I planted them on the wrong side of the house, they're just not getting enough sun. So we'll see. We'll see how they go. I'm getting a trellis so that they can get up off the ground and get some more sunlight. But anyway, that's my garden update. Next year, I'm planning on using a lot more trellises to get plants up off the ground. The loofah was extremely productive, so I think I'll plant a couple loofah plants. I want to plant some bottle gourds and some jumping chino, but I might actually do that on the outside of these fences, which would be pretty cool, I think. Really cool. Yeah. And I'll do tomatoes again, but I'll reevaluate my strategy for those. I'll do okra again because that thing has been so productive. I'll do beans and peas. And zucchini. The zucchini was extremely productive too. Extremely productive. I planted them too close together and didn't keep an eye on the buds, so they started decaying in the lot. But yeah, that's my garden update.